I came to Eastern in the fall of 1965.
I joined the Eastern faculty in 1967, and I taught here for 25 years and retired in 1992.
Well, I came here fresh out of graduate school, Boston University, with a master's degree in physics. And I had served as a teaching assistant and also had done some research in sonar waveforms.
I had gotten an undergraduate degree at the University of Massachusetts in geology. Then to change the landscape and the scenery, I went out to the University of Indiana, got a master's degree there in geology, and I returned back to the University of Massachusetts and got my PhD in geology.
I had served on active duty in the Air Force for a very short time between my master's degree and PhD degree. Then I went from Kansas State University to Iowa State University for 1 year as a teaching postdoc position, basically, and then came to Eastern from Iowa State University.
I had a bachelor's degree in mathematics with a minor in philosophy. Then I went for 2 years as a Peace Corps teacher in Nigeria. And then when I came back, I went to graduate school for 5 years at the University of New Hampshire, eventually getting a PhD in mathematics, and then was hired at Eastern in 1971.
When I came to Eastern, I was the 6th full-time person in the department. There were 5 people here when I came.
When I came, the math department was housed in Knight Hall, a small building that probably was a residence many years ago.
When I first came here, all of the science labs were taught in 3 rooms in the 2nd floor Schaefer Hall. There was one for biology, one for science education, and one for everything else, and I was part of everything else.
We taught mathematics for really 2 types of majors. One were those people who were going to go into secondary education, and the other were people who were going to use it professionally in industry, in actuarial work, statistical work, and so forth.
I was interested in being at a place where preparing teachers was not an afterthought, it was the primary mission. My basic approach to teaching science was that it was not a spectator sport. You have to do science to learn science. You can't just watch talking heads. Math is the language of science. You know, it's powerful, it's concise, it gives you ability to evaluate things theoretically before you try them empirically.
To be an environmental or science major, it's a rather selective process because you have to take chemistry, at least a year of chemistry, you have to take a year of physics, you have to take calculus or statistics. And so this is not a major that people would just wander into. You had to have a desire to go that particular route.
So how do we approach chemistry? We usually start with the lab. We put a lot of math into it, and I think sometimes that's where chemistry gets to be a turnoff for many students because they say all they're doing is solving problems. But the problems are intended to reinforce the understanding that are derived from observations, hypothesis, working in the big theories.
A lot of the issues that people have been thinking about, particularly since the early 70s, are addressed by earth science. People have become interested in pollution problems, resource problems, land use, natural hazards. What do you do about those? And all of those type of things are aspects that are addressed by environmental earth science.
Incorporating laboratory experience or field experience or hands-on experience, practical experience, that has always been, as far as I know, a part of the philosophy of our department.
I also tried to teach them that there was no standing still in science. If you don't move ahead, you'll slip backwards. You have to keep up to date. Science is always changing. St. Augustine once said, "Qui non progredi, regredi." If you don't progress, you'll regress, you know. And it was kind of a guiding light for me. They've got to keep learning. They shouldn't think, I've had this course and now I'm all done with chemistry. You know, like it was a pill. I've had chemistry.
When the science building opened and we were able to move into that facility, it was a great boon For the first time, the faculty in neuroscience were all together in one place. Beyond that, we had facilities that were designed for us.
I saw the new science building, and it's wonderful. It enables students to produce more than they might with a lesser facility. It lends itself to a very positive feeling about the university. So those students who are in science who go into this building, immediately they feel that the university has made a commitment to them.
I like to bring grandkids in, and I like to bring friends in and show them the great opportunities that exist. And I think the general impression that I gather from folks is when they see that building, they say Eastern has arrived. Obviously, people have an image now of Eastern as being a very desirable place. And actually, I think the enrollments will show that we're not lacking.
We now have a biochemistry major. We didn't have that before, the environmental or science major. And there's a new major being developed, which is a health sciences major. And so we are looking toward the future.
Science is the endless frontier. And one of the things that I enjoyed about science teaching was you'll never be like Alexander the Great and weep because there are no more worlds to conquer. In science, there's always something new to learn.